Welcome back to AM Buffalo. February is American Heart Month, and it's a time to raise awareness about heart disease. Heart failure is a leading cause of death across the globe, and it affects over 6.2 million people in the U.S. Early detection and diagnosis can be key to managing heart disease and living a fuller and more active life. To tell us more about this, we have Dr. Philip Adamson, Divisional Vice President and Chief Medical Officer of Heart Failure at Abbott, as well as Tiara Johnson, a young mom here to share her story of living with this heart disease. Thank you both for being with us on AM Buffalo this morning. So Dr. Adamson, what are some of the symptoms to be aware of, and what are some of the common misconceptions that people have?
Mercedes, one of the most important things to remember is that heart failure can affect anyone, and we typically think of heart failure as being an older person's disease. But we're all at risk, and the heart will tell us when there's a problem if we listen. We many times feel things that are associated with exertion or exercise, such as abnormal shortness of breath, can't go up a flight of stairs without having to stop, going out to the car and having to stop to catch your breath. All of those are worrisome signs that the heart could be damaged or could have heart failure.
And why is early diagnosis so important for a disease like heart failure?
Well, the heart, Mercedes, is an amazing organ. It really is, and it can heal. It can recover, and so if damage is ongoing, knowing about it and fixing that damage or fixing the process that's causing the damage can lead to the heart to recover. So the earlier we're able to address problems that the heart may have, the more likely it is that the heart can get better and that patients can continue to have good outcomes and good quality of life.
Yeah, that is so important. Thank you for that. Tiara, tell us your story, please.
Well, Mercedes, I was diagnosed with postpartum cardiomyopathy after the birth of my second daughter. When I got home, I just felt something was not right, and the doctors did not diagnose me. And so I went undiagnosed for 2 months. And when I was officially diagnosed, my heart function had declined until less than 10%. And after 3 years of medical interventions and medications, my heart just did not recover. And I was referred out to the Advanced Heart Failure Clinic at the University of Michigan. And it was there that I met my now cardiologist. I was able to receive a CardioMEMS device as well as a HeartMate 3, which both gave me a sense of hope and gave me a quality of life back until I received my heart transplant in November of 2021 after battling heart failure for 6 years.
Wow, 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 wow. What message do you want people to know about living with heart failure, Tiara? Wow.
Well, there are 3 key points that I want to point out. First, recognize the signs and symptoms that you're experiencing and write them down to share with your doctors. Also, I would like people to know it's okay to advocate for yourself. If you feel like you're not receiving the proper care, it's okay to seek a second or third opinion if you have to. And most of all, remain hopeful. It's not a death sentence. Be proactive about your health care, and the odds will work in your favor.
Tiara, I am so glad that you are okay. I'm glad that you got the help that you needed. And I'm glad that you're able to talk to us today. And Dr. Adamson, really, really quick, what impact has the COVID-19 pandemic taught us about remote care?
COVID-19 required us to move to a virtual or remote management strategy rather than face-to-face in-office visits. And we at Abbott developed several technologies to help with that by providing information from implanted devices that doctors can use to get a better understanding of how patients are doing at home. In fact, the data that we get from the CardioMEMS heart failure system is even better than what one would get in the office. So the pandemic really did push us into this virtual remote management concept. And now that patients have experienced it, they really love it. And this is a very efficient way to care for people with chronic disease.
Wow. Well, thank you again. Thank you so much, Dr. Adamson and Tiara, for being on AM Buffalo this morning. Wow. For more information about heart health, as well as early detection and diagnosis, you can jump online and visit at cardiovascular.abbott.